Hello, it is 8:30, March 4th, 2019. Welcome to this weather update. We're going to first take a look and see the snowfall totals. And nothing really too remarkable on Long Island, however, Connecticut. Some areas in Fairfield County got a foot. So, again, to our north, just to our north, where the heavy snow fell, they really got a lot. It looks like Connecticut really got in on some really high amounts. New Haven County, Southbury, North Haven, Southbury, 13.8 inches, over a foot of snow. So yeah, coastal Connecticut really, New London too, got really hammered last night. And New Jersey also did. Areas in Bergen County got, 8 inches. You have some 8.8 inch amounts at Hathworth. I don't see Paramus on here. I don't regularly I'm not too familiar with any of these towns here in Bergen County. Essex County, Montclair 8 inches, Cedar Grove 9.2. So inland is where they got the heavy snow, and that's because that line, that rain-snow line, what wound up happening last night was what the miles were indicating, that we actually had to change over to rain on the island, sleet and rain for much of the island last night, or should I say early this morning, and I could hear it too. You can hear that rattle. And the city, only one report from the Bronx, 2.4 inches. Brooklyn, 2 inches. Nassau County, we have a reading of 4 inches in Syosset. Manhasset Hills, 3.8. And it wrapped up like around 3 in the morning. It really wrapped up quickly for the accumulation for us. Manhasset Hills, 3.8. Franklin Square, 2.5. And then we go upstate again. Orange, you have those high readings. Monroe, 8 inches. Carmel, 8 inches in Putnam County. And then North Shore, Queens, Bayside, 7.1 inches. Like I said, that line really made a difference where that line was. LaGuardia Airport, 4.8. Whitestone, 4.5. Jamaica, only 2 inches. So again, once you head toward the South Shore, it's less. High amounts in Rockland County, too. Staten Island got 3 inches there. High amounts in Rockland County, too. Chestnut Ridge, 9 inches. Spring Valley, 8 inches. So they got some higher amounts up there. As for Long Island, we really got off easy. Suffolk County, the highest amounts were on the North Shore. On Long Island, at least, were on the North Shore of central Suffolk County. It would be areas like Shoreham, 6.2 inches. Wading Rivers, 5.9. But then the numbers started going down as you headed west. 4.3 Comac, and the North Fork got 4 inches. However, the South Fork got absolutely nothing, so that was really interesting too. Islip, 3.6 inches, Stony Brook, 3.4 inches, Upton, 2.6, Sayville, only 1.5, and the South Fork basically got nothing, which was really interesting. And then Westchester County, also some high readings. Armonk, 11 inches, Katona, 10.1 inches, Ridgefield, not sure where that is, but some high numbers in Westchester too. So they really wound up getting hit very hard inland, just as I thought. I think that some of the numbers that some meteorologists were predicting for Long Island were over the top, particularly on News 12. This guy called Pat Kavlin, he's absolutely horrible. The weekend guy on News 12, Pat Kavlin, just awful, awful. He's a kid, he knows nothing. I'm not going to say too much about it, but he really knows nothing. All right, so let's see if we can get some readings. He predicted, I think he had most Long Island in a 4 to 8 range, which most, it was too general, because depending on where you are on the North Shore and the South Shore, but he never differentiated between the two. Let's see if we can get a reading for New Jersey and see what they got. Again, I don't like doing that. It's just I'm annoyed that they put Pat Kavlin on so much on News 12. News 12 is basically just a shell of its former self. Anyway, let's see if we can get some snow reports from the Mount Holly office here. Very small amounts here in Delaware. I'm not even going to go over Delaware. I'm curious about New Jersey. Burlington County, Mount Laurel, 1.3. Like I said, barely anything there. Barely anything. Inland, though, they got Hunterdon County got 7 inches, and some parts of Middlesex too. So in central Jersey, places like Woodbridge got 6 inches. So they got a decent amount, but as soon as you head south, it goes down fairly quickly. So Monmouth County, you see Freehold only 3.2, Howell only 1.5 inches, Long Branch only an inch. But again, this office also covers Morris County, where they managed to get a lot. So Green Pond. 9 inches. Randolph, New Jersey, 9 inches. Jefferson Township, 8.8 inches. And only one report from Ocean County, and that was probably the only spot where it accumulated. And this was in the northwestern part of Ocean County. Jackson, 1.5 inches. So very little. I don't even think there's a report from Atlantic County in here, is there? There is not. So, yeah, so basically they got nothing over there. And it's just very interesting what wound up happening. I'm not really going to go over Pennsylvania. Just very, very interesting. And I actually want to look at the MODIS satellite to show you. If I can show you, if we can get a look at the satellite here to show you where the snow fell. If we can look at the snow cover, you can actually see right here where the cutoff was. And you could sort of see, there are a lot of clouds around. Let's see if we can get where it's cleared out a little bit. Yeah, this one looks good. You can see here the South Fork got nothing. Look at that. So the South Fork got nothing, but the North Fork managed to get accumulation. So look at that. You can see the difference right there. You can see how there's no accumulation almost south of Sunrise Highway right there. So I was right on with that. And you can see there was accumulation in the rest of the island. There was snow on the ground outside. But again, if we look at Jersey, you can see, again, there are tons of clouds over there. So let's see if I can maybe get an image where you can sort of see. Unfortunately, there were a lot of clouds around today, but you could see that there's not really any snow on the ground here. You can sort of see there's a line right here. We'll be able to see that better tomorrow when we have better skies. Hopefully clear skies tomorrow, that's for sure. Let's go over what the temperatures are right now outside. And it's not that cold right now. It was in the upper 30s to around 40. Now it's dropping down. But it will start dropping down because there is a secondary push of Arctic air coming into the area. You can see it off to our excuse me, our west here, where it's only in the teens in western Pennsylvania. So that is heading toward us. And if we zoom this out a little bit on the Ventus sky, you can see the Arctic air coming down. Here it is. So here is the Arctic air. It's not going to be too deep of a plunge, but you can see areas like Chicago, only single digits over there. So it's this is some really bitter cold air. And if we were in a place like Montreal, they're not gonna make it out of the teens tomorrow if we were there. But anyway, let's look at the satellite and show you the clouds that seem to be breaking up. So it looks like the clouds are breaking up over our area, and hopefully that'll bring us a clear day tomorrow. So let's go to the models and take a look and see what's going to happen tomorrow. We'll just zoom into this area and we will look at the sky cover and see if we can get some clear skies, because that's it's been very hard to get clear skies this whole winter here in the Northeast. It's been pretty dreary, despite the fact it's been mild, and that's the reason why. Actually, it's because of El Nino, basically, as said before. So let's see. That GFS seems a little overdone with the cloud cover. So let's see. We're going into tomorrow. Looks like clear skies over us. Yeah, looks like looks more. There might be some patchy cloudiness over Long Island around the early afternoon, but New Jersey should have clear skies throughout the day. Let's take a look at Wednesday. Probably a few more clouds around. Let's forward this up. Yeah, there are going to be a few more clouds around popping up on Wednesday. And then for Thursday, we got even more clouds. So, yeah, it looks like we only really have one chance for a clear day. And then after that, we're going to be stuck in the clouds for a while again. So we'll have to wait until maybe sometime next week, maybe, to get out of it. Maybe. You can just see the continuing problem that we have here with all these clouds. It really sucks the pattern we're in with all these clouds. That's due to El Nino, which again is possibly, we may be seeing more of this due to climate change. So that's pretty much what the GFS has for clouds. I do think it's a little overdone. So let's look at the NAM and see how the NAM performs for tomorrow. So yeah, the NAM has like some clouds over Long Island, but it has, if you're in New Jersey, it should be mostly clear. And then for Wednesday, you can see it has like a cloud field popping up over the area. And this is probably because the lakes haven't frozen yet, and we continue to get this lake effect moisture, and because the wind is coming, the flow is coming from this direction, so it's coming from west-northwest, which is not, if you want it coming straight out of Hudson Bay, and that one, we just haven't gotten much of that this whole winter, and that's why we've had so many clouds around. So yeah, Wednesday is going to have a lot of clouds around. So let's go and look at the temperatures. I will use the GFS for that because I know that the NAM is a bit on the cold side. So let's go and look at the temperatures and see how our temperatures are going to be doing. next for the next I guess for the next week or so. So you can see the cold air come in tomorrow. We're not getting out of. We'll struggle to reach 30 degrees. So it will be very much below normal. I think the normal high for this time of the year is supposed to be in the low 40s and mid 40s or something like that. So we're going to be quite below normal. And then for and also by the morning you'll see it'll be in the teens too. So when you wake up tomorrow morning, it will be in the teens, and then it will get cold again tomorrow night, and then Wednesday we have like another additional little push of cold air, which is going to probably result in some instability cloudiness. We're only going to be in the mid 20s on Wednesday, so it's going to be pretty chilly that day. And then for Thursday, maybe it comes back a little bit, but still we're going to be below freezing for 3 days in a row. So the snow that you have on the ground isn't going anywhere. Maybe it'll melt a little bit because of the sun angle, but it's not going anywhere. Then we go into Friday, things recover into the mid-30s, and then we will go and look at the weekend. You see temperatures now bouncing up to the mid-40s by Saturday, and then you can see this warm, very warm push of air coming toward us, approaching our area on Sunday, March 10th, and that looks like that impacts our area sometime overnight Sunday into Monday. And yes, Monday could be a warm day. It could be in the 60s in New Jersey, 50s on Long Island. And then another cool down looks like it tries to take place Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. Still is well above normal right through. Looks like, and then another warm up. So yeah, after this, I think that's going to be it. No more cold air until next winter probably. So you'll definitely want to get out there and enjoy it because it looks like it's going to be mild for quite some time. It'll probably have a lot of junky skies around too. So let's just go and look at the CONUS view for the nation, and we can also look at the temperature analysis for the nation too. I'll just briefly go over that. You can see cold air tries to come down in the east, but the trough is shallow, and then you can see, yeah, that trough builds in the west again, and we're stuck in the ridge again as we get in the mid to late March. Always the case. Alright, let's just put this up to here, preset map, and see. So just to visualize what's going on in the atmosphere. So again, there's a weak low passing to the south. High pressure builds into our area for the next 3 days, but again, because of the positioning of the high and the flow off the lakes, yeah, there's going to be some clouds around for Wednesday and Thursday. So probably tomorrow is your best bet for clear skies, especially if you're in New Jersey. And then, yep, next system approach is Friday. Too warm for snow, probably be rain for, looks like early Saturday morning that gets out. And then, yep, another storm tracks into the Great Lakes, way up into the Great Lakes. That's just going to bring us that warm up and the chance for rain late Sunday, early Monday. And then, yep, here goes another one right up into the lakes. So it's just been a terrible pattern for us. You know, what can I tell you? It's just been awful. And then another one goes up into the lakes. You see what's going on. The west keeps getting the cool air coming down, and we're stuck in this freaking tropical flow. And if this is the pattern for the summer, it's going to be horrible. Hopefully not, but yeah, you never know. And just for laugh, let's go to the southwest and see what their sky conditions are going to look like for the next couple of days. So we'll just, if you were in Flagstaff, let's see what your weather is going to look like. I'm sure it'll be all right. So tomorrow it looks like maybe some clouds rolling in. They're going to have their fair share of clouds too, though. Looks like they're not getting many clear days either. And that's all because of El Nino. That's why. It looks like it does start to get better toward the end, but it's all because of El Nino. This is the problem with El Nino. It basically brings all the storminess into the west coast. It encourages a lot of clouds just across the entire country. And that's what El Nino is, and it's horrible. When I heard there was going to be an El Nino, which is a warming of the Pacific, that I knew we were going to be screwed this winter, and sure enough we were. That's for sure. Anyway, let's go and look at some other stuff right now. We're going to look at the ice in the Arctic, and we are going to look at we're going to take a look back at February as well. All right, so let's take a look at some of these ice conditions here on the Arctic, and it's not good. It's not good. It's very alarming. You know, this should be the top story on the news, but it's not. Literally, you have an area about, I would say, about almost the size of the state of, the entire state of New Jersey, probably. An area in the Bering Sea that is supposed to be frozen that doesn't have ice on it. That's very concerning. And then over here, there's just a lot of thin ice right here by Siberia. A lot of thin ice over here. The ice is very thin, and this is supposed to all be frozen. So this is very concerning too as well. And then also over here too as well, you see that there's missing ice over off the coast of Canada, a little bit off the coast of Greenland, not too much. But the concern is it's very thin ice, and just a little extra ice over here poking out, and that could actually be calving or glaciers coming off because of the warm ocean waters. That's why we're going through this. And if I go to earthnullschool.net, which we're going to do right now, and we're going to actually take a look at those ocean temperature anomalies and show you the situation here that we have with the oceans, because it's very alarming. Alright, so ocean temperatures, SST anomalies. Here we go. So here are the anomalies, and you see a lot of red. And that indicates above normal ocean temperatures. And this is the El Nino right here. This whole area right here that you see, the warming of the equatorial Pacific, you can see it's significantly above normal. This is what we call an El Nino event, and this is why we're having all this unsettled weather, because what it winds up doing is it brings a lot of moisture into the west coast. All right, so it does make places like Flagstaff have a lot more clouds and a lot more snow. Flagstaff's had a lot more snow than they're supposed to have, and it also encourages a trough in the west and a ridge in the east. And that means lots of rainstorms for us and lots of clouds, because it's, again, you have extra moisture, so the moisture is going to flow across the entire country and bring much more cloudiness than normal due to this El Nino. And you can see the El Nino really shows up really well here on this right here, and it causes a lot of just weather chaos all around the globe. When they first discovered this phenomenon, I think it was in the 80s. They spoke about how it really just altered the weather, and because of climate change, it's becoming more common. But again, we have this stripe of really above normal water, and this is really a concern here. This is off the East Coast. You have this literally boiling hot water. I mean, not literally, but it's very warm water. Literally, just on. You have water temperatures that are 15 degrees Fahrenheit above normal, going all the way up into almost the Arctic. And that's very concerning, and what that's doing is it's getting to the ice and it's melting it, and so you're getting, and then you see this below normal water right next to it. That's all cold water coming off the ice that's melting, and this is fresh water, so it has because some of it's fresh water, some of it's salt water. If it's coming off the land, then it's a glacier, it would be fresh water, but if it's frozen sea ice, then it's salt water, but it's disrupting the normal flows of the weather. And so that's why we're seeing all this chaotic weather across the entire country. And it's been very warm also. We're going to actually go back and look at air. And we're going to look at air. I don't know if this gives an air temperature anomaly. Let's see if it does. I don't think it does do a temperature anomaly. Doesn't have that on here. But what we can do is we can show you where the cool air is. The fact is that even in places like Alaska, it's been above normal. It's been above normal in Alaska. Above normal, very much above normal in Alaska, and also in extreme eastern Russia. And that again, it can be attributed to the sea ice. But you see all this warm air just shooting up into the Arctic, and that's a real concern. Is a real concern. So I really wanted to go over that in this video as well, to show you that we are in a climate emergency, and the lack of urgency from anyone is just astonishing. It's unbelievable. So anyway, let's go and look at the climate report for Central Park for the month of February, and the highest temperature at Central Park was 65. The lowest was 11. And last year was also ridiculously warm. We had it 78 degrees on February 21st, 2018, in Central Park. And that was a record, all-time record. That was a record for the day, and probably one of the warmest readings that ever occur in the winter at Central Park. This is all due to climate change, all right? And no surprise, we were above normal. The average maximum was 42.6. The normal is supposed to be 41.6, so we're a whole degree above normal there. And then the minimum, 29.8. The average minimum, normal was 28.9. So I'd say we were about a degree above average in Central Park. Nothing too dramatic, but it's still a lot. And we also had a lot of days with precipitation too. If we take a look at these days of the precipitation, I think we have like 15 days of precipitation. Almost half the month we had days with precipitation. So no, it's not your imagination that it's been cloudier and gloomier than normal, because it has been. Let's see if we can get one for islip too. Now, the record keeping an islip doesn't go as far back, but we can look and see what that was. All right, so temperature record at Central Park. Well, that for February was not as hot. Interesting that Central Park never really experienced the warmth. Islip never experienced the warmth because, again, we're fortunate to have a sea breeze on Long Island, which they don't have in the city. So, again, we were above normal this month. Average maximum 41.9 in February, and the normal average for February is supposed to be 40.3 at islip. Average minimum 26.9, normal average 25.2. So almost a degree. Yeah, the mean is supposed to be 34.4, and I meant the mean was 34.4, and it was really wound up being 32.8. Excuse me, I'm sorry. It's supposed to be 32.8. That's the mean temperature for islip in February, but the actual mean was 34.4. So again, we were almost 2 degrees above normal for the month, which is substantial. It's been a very warm winter. Not a lot of snow, and here you could see all the days we had cloudy, fair. Only 3 days in islip were fair for the entire month of February. All right, fair means mostly sunny. 3 days. That was it. So that's why it's been. I have hardly gotten to the Pine Barrens. Look at the average sky cover, 0.70. It's been mostly cloudy all month. So the pattern this past winter has been absolutely dreadful. I hope this isn't becoming like a regular thing now, because it's really been very hard on me mentally. Let me see what else. I think that will wrap up this weather update. I'll just show you some scenes from what it looked like this evening with the snow. All right, it's just a brief look at the snow here. This was in Hicksville. You could see just enough to cover the grass. A lot of it had already melted, but there's still some snow enough to make things look white. Here's another look at it. So enjoy the snow while it lasts, because we're probably going to have to wait till next winter. Hopefully we have a decent one next winter. But this winter, yep, that's the appropriate sound for this winter. Take care, and thank you for watching.